Hey Yep Tribe, Madeline here, and I'm happy to bring you my first MiniCast today. So if you don't know what a MiniCast is, it is a one-off podcast done by James or I independently, and these are only going to last about 5 to 10 minutes. And normally it's just kind of something that hits us in the moment that we feel called to speak about, whether it's something we're going through in life or a challenge we have or just kind of a new idea that sparked into our head. So without further ado, today I want to talk about making mistakes. This is something very real, and I just made a pretty big mistake here at Yep. So let me tell you a little bit about that. We recorded our second ever episode, Are You Entrepreneurial? And on that episode, it was our second one ever, but leaps and bounds better than our first. We took all this feedback from everyone in our tribe. We've been getting it from friends, family, totally people we don't know on the internet, which is awesome. We love feedback, so keep sending that our way. Shameless plug right there. But so when we took all that feedback and really put it into action, we were super high energy. We had a conversation versus kind of having more. Earlier we had more of a narrative, I would say, but now it was like dialogue and interactive, and we were on a high after we finished that episode because we were like, that was it, that this is why we do this. It's so much more fun to listen to. And then what I realized I did, after I saved the audio file, we recorded our outro, and I saved the outro over top that file. So our setup works that we have two mics. So James records on a mic and I record on one. And so this was only my half of the audio. So we did still have James's audio, but you can't hear me very well, and it sounds a little raspy when I speak from other things in the room. So you might be thinking, okay, it's just an audio file, but for us, this is kind of a big deal. And especially for me, I've been somebody who doesn't like to let people down. And I feel like when I did this, I took away value from our tribe, that we could have been sharing this, and it was one of our best things yet. And I also feel like I wasted my co-founder's time. Obviously, James was very supportive through this all and was like, let's do it again. We actually considered quite a few options of how to deal with this, and we didn't end up pushing that out because we wanted it to provide the most value as possible. But we didn't really think it was fair to not tell you this, because we're all out there, we're all making mistakes, and this is one thing I always say: don't fear failure. Do crazy stuff and just see how it turns out. But honestly, I don't think I live my life that way. I'm kind of a hypocrite, because I don't think if I truly live my life that this would affect me as much as it has been. But I will say it's a total mood shift, and I'm super disappointed in myself, and that's okay. Disappointment is gonna happen when you are running at a fast pace. You are gonna fail. Undoubtedly, you will trip when you run through the woods of the startup world. It's just gonna happen. So when it does, reach out to someone who can really help you kind of get through it and be like, okay, you're not a failure. And that might be your co-founder for some people. It might be your family. It might be a friend. But that can really help change your perspective. But also you have to find it within you, and you have to be like, I'm not a failure just because I made this little mistake, or a big mistake kind of in my case. But nevertheless, I just wanted to share that with you. And I know people all the time say, don't be afraid to fail, making mistakes. If you're not failing, you're not learning. We've said that on the show, but honestly, if either of us failed, we don't live it out how we say it. And so now I'm starting to kind of wrap my head around, next time something like this happens, which inevitably it will. Mistakes happen. We're not perfect. James and I are kind of perfectionists, but that doesn't mean we're perfect. So thanks so much for letting me have this moment. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me, or James. I'm sure he can speak just as much to this topic as I can, and all about failure and kind of how to get over that and and your ego in it all. So reach out to us at team@helloyep.com. Thanks so much, guys, again. Have an awesome week, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, because they're going to happen. Bye.